Pag sinabi mong insurance sa kahit sinong Pilipino, alam mo na ang reaksyon. I pass? No budget? May insurance na ako eh. Or scam yan. I get it. I used to get that reaction every single day. But here's the thing. I'm not an insurance agent. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what I actually do, why it's completely different from what you think, and how it applies to your financial future. Whether you earn 30,000 a month or 2 million. My name is Josh Gripo. My title is Wealth Architect. And that's not a fancy name I made up to sound impressive. It's a fundamentally different approach to what most people experience when they sit down with someone in my industry. Let me give you context. I studied engineering in college. I was trained to design systems, structures that work under pressure, that account for every variable, that don't collapse when conditions change. When I entered in the financial industry, I realized something most Filipinos don't have: a financial system. They have random products, an insurance policy here, a savings account there, maybe some stocks friend told them to buy, but no architecture, no system designed to work together. That engineering mindset is exactly what got me ranked top 3 in my district, earned me $1 million round table, and placed me in the elite club of planners, all before turning 30. But credentials are just proof that the system works. What matters is what the system actually does for you. So let me show you. Today, I'm going to walk you 3 things. First, the difference between what an insurance agent does and what a wealth architect does. And it's not just semantics. It changes everything about the outcome you get. Second, I'm going to show you my core framework. I call it the 3-layer wealth architecture. This is the exact system I use with every single client, whether they're a fresh graduate or a business owner. And third, I'm going to show you 2 real examples how this framework applies to someone earning 50,000 a month and someone earning 2 million a month. Same system, different numbers. Both are engineered for their specific situation. If you ever felt confused about where to start with your finances, or if you've been burned by bad advice before, this video is for you. Stay until the end. Okay, so what's the actual difference? Let me paint you a picture. A typical insurance agent, and I say this with respect kasi marami akong kilala na sincere naman talaga. A typical agent sits down with you and says, I have this product, it has these features, here's the price, do you want it? It's a product first. They start with what they're selling and they try to match it with your life. A wealth architect does the exact opposite. I start with you, your income, your debts, your family situations, your goals, not vague goals like I want to be rich, but specific ones. How much do you need when you retire? What happens to your family's cash flow if something happens to you tomorrow? How much will your child's education cost in 2040? Once I understand the entire financial picture, then I design a wealth architecture, a system where every piece works together. The protection layer to the growth layer. The growth layer feeds the legacy layer. Hindi siya random. Hindi siya, bili ka nito kasi maganda. It's engineered. That's the difference. An agent sells you a product. A wealth architect engineers you a system. Now let me show you the framework. This is the 3-layer wealth architecture. Every Filipino needs this regardless of their income level. Level 1, protection. This is your foundation. Ito yung base. Without this, nothing else matters. Protection means if something happens to you, death, critical illness, disability, your family's financial life does not collapse. Think of it like the foundation of a building. Hindi mo siya nakikita, hindi siya glamorous, but without it, everything above it falls. This layer answers one question. If I disappear tomorrow, how many years can my family maintain their life without my income? If your answer is, I don't know, that's the exact gap we need to fix first. Layer 2, growth. Once your protection is in place, now we build. This is where your money starts working for you. Growth means your wealth is increasing faster than the inflation is eating it. Kasi here's the reality. If your money is sitting in a savings account earning 0 point something percent and inflation is running at 5 to 6%, you're actually getting poorer every year. Your money is shrinking while it looks like it's staying the same. This layer includes your investments, whether that's through a VUL, a UITF, an index fund, MP2, or a combination. The right mix depends on your risk tolerance, your timeline, and your goals. And yes, I'll do a deep dive on each of it in future videos. For now, just understand, layer 2 is where your wealth grows. Layer 3, legacy. This is the layer most Filipinos don't think about until it's too late. Legacy means when you leave this world, your wealth transfers to your family efficiently, without BIR eating 20%, without your assets being frozen for months, and without your family fighting over what's left. Estate tax in the Philippines is 6%, but the real cost is the delay, the bureaucracy, the family conflict. Layer 3 engineers all of that away before it happens. So that's the system. 3 layers: protection, growth, legacy. Every client I work with gets a version of this, customized to their numbers, their situation, their family. Hindi siya template. It's architecture designed for you specifically. Let me make this concrete, because frameworks are great, but you need to see how they actually work in real life. Example number 1, the 50,000 a month earner. Let's say you're 27, single, earning 50,000 a month. You have a small emergency fund, no insurance, some savings in a digital bank. Here's how the 3-layer wealth architecture applies to you. Level 1, protection. We calculate your human life value, how much your future income is worth to your family. And we set up the right coverage amount. Not too much that you cannot afford, not too little that it's useless. Engineered to your exact situation. Your annual investment for this might be anywhere from 20,000 to 40,000 pesos a year. Layer 2, growth. We allocate a portion of your income to a growth vehicle that matches your 20 plus year timeline. At your age, you have the most powerful asset in finance: time. Compound growth over 2 decades. Turn modest monthly investment into serious wealth. Layer 3, legacy. At this stage, legacy planning is light, but we set up the foundation, the proper beneficiary, designations, basic wealth transfer structure, so that as your net worth grows, the architecture scales with you. Example number 2, the 2 million a month earner. Now let's say you're 45, married, 2 kids, running a business doing 50 million a year. You have properties, vehicles, and significant assets, but no formal wealth architecture. Layer 1, protection. We're not just covering your family. We're covering your business, key person protection, business continuity funding. If you're the one driving the revenue and you're gone, how does the business survive the first 12 months? We engineer that. Layer 2, growth. At this income level, you need sophisticated asset allocation. We're looking at wealth preservation vehicles, tax-efficient growth strategies, and diversification across asset classes. Layer 3, legacy. This is where things get serious. Estate tax planning, succession planning for your business, a generational wealth transfer strategy so that your children don't just inherit money, they inherit a system. Same framework, same philosophy, different scale. That's what one brand, 2 experiences means. Whether you're starting your first job or running an empire, you get the same engineering precision, the same level of thought, the same quality of architecture. The only difference is the numbers. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Josh, that sounds great, but at the end of the day, you still sell insurance, diba? I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, insurance products are one of the tools in the system. The same way a civil engineer uses concrete and steel. You wouldn't say an engineer sells concrete. The concrete is the material. The value is in the design. The same is true here. The products are the tools, the value is in the architecture. How tools are selected, combined, and calibrated for your specific life. But you might say, I already have insurance. Great! That doesn't mean you have a system. Having insurance is like having a random beam in the middle of an empty lot. It's there, but it's not a building. It's not doing what it should be doing unless it's part of a design structure. Josh, aren't you too young for this? I'm 28, and I plan to be your wealth architect for the next 30 years. You're not getting someone who's winding down their career and handing you off to a junior associate in 5 years. You're getting someone who's building the best years of his career around your success. My generation was raised on systems thinking, on data, on technology. That's exactly what modern wealth architecture requires. Here's what drives me. The Philippines has one of the lowest insurance penetration rates in Asia, less than 2% of our GDP. That means the vast majority of Filipino families are one emergency away from financial crisis. Hindi yan acceptable. I believe every Filipino family deserves a wealth architecture. Not just the wealthy, not just the business owners, every single family. That's why I created this channel, and every Saturday, I'm going to break down the frameworks, the math, and the real strategies that I use with actual clients. And I'm giving it to you for free. Because the more financially literate our country becomes, the fewer families get destroyed by emergencies they could have prepared for. That's what I actually do. I don't just sell insurance, I engineer financial freedom. If this resonated with you, here's what I want you to do. First, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell. Every Saturday, a new framework drops. Real systems, real math, no fluff. Second, if you want to see the 3-layer wealth architecture applies to your specific situation, I do free consultations. No pitch, no pressure, just the math. The link is in the description below. And third, share this video with one person who needs to hear it. Maybe your kapatid, your best friend, your business partner, someone who still thinks insurance is just a product and not a system. Your family's future engineered. I'll see you next Saturday.